All right, the Bulldog basketball team played the two Nevada-based basketball programs this past week. They had an unbelievable finish against UNLV to steal a game against the Rebels, 98-96. They trailed for 19 minutes, 59 seconds in the second half and needed a 7-0 run in 7 seconds with a buzzer beater by Jake Heidebrainer to win. I will post the video of it in the description if you somehow have not seen it. It was absolutely an incredible late night victory that got national attention, if only because gamblers were upset that they how the things went and called the game rigged. And let me tell you something. If you're a Fresno State fan and Fresno State watching, you know darn well that games are not rigged in the Bulldogs' favor. Right? Does not happen. I've seen people call it a miracle. I wouldn't call it a miracle per se. Miracles are like the 2008 championship win by the baseball team. Miracle was the sideline kick Dylan Lynch did against San Diego State in 2020. A miracle has to happen when you're in contention to really win something. All right, I would consider the Raiders' playoff run in 2021 much more of a miracle than what the basketball team did, honestly, because they're not going to win the basketball title. They're not going to be in the top four. This was a win the basketball team has not gotten in a very long time. And it was more of a case, in my opinion, of UNLV blowing it. I mean, it was a weird game. This featured 7 players fouling out, 9 flagrant technical fouls, 62 fouls, 80 free throws, several replay reviews. I mean, it was like a 5-hour game. It was definitely an engaged crowd of 5,000 plus. I mean, you had students storming the court. Students don't usually go to Fresno State basketball games very much, just because we are a community school. Not a lot of on-campus dorms compared to other universities, and the basketball team is not really giving them a reason to come out. But if you're going to storm the court, storm the court. You know, give yourself a reason. You haven't done it in a very long time here. I can't really do the description of the game justice. I will link it down here. Other than what the game did overall was make the Bulldogs 500 on the year. Made them 11-11. Made them in 6th place. It was very rare also. I mean, Fresno State this year is not going to get a lot of games on national TV for obvious reasons. Zaylon Collins fouled out 16 points. Gory at 15, Jocks at 10. This is not really a big... to me, this is basically David Douglas' night. He really needed to do... he's the guy that has to stir the drink. He has to play great for this basketball team to win. All right? And how did this basketball team follow up this win with all the momentum they had? Positive goodwill, national broadcasting. Well, they looked at the Lago Center in Nevada, Reno, and lost. That's very typical of Fresno State fashion. Lost 69-59. And really, it was just... If you watched the game, you saw the Bulldogs ahead. They went on a... they were double digits, multiple play. They were up 15-6 to start the game. But, but unfortunately, it melted away to a tie, 20-28 all in the second half. And you knew at that moment the Bulldogs were going to lose. Why did they lose this game? Well, because, once again, we had another big, long shooting drought. That just seems to be baked into this Vance Wahlberg team era. If any of y'all have known Vance Wahlberger from his time at Clovis West, and if that's unusual or usual part of course, please comment down below, because I am sick of him. Very, very sick of him. And I'm sure a lot of Bulldog fans feel the same way. Alright? I mean, Gory led it with 70 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 of 20 from the field. Whole team as a whole was just 19 of 56 from the field and 9 of 26 to the 3-point line. Gotta make shots. And they seem to have trouble making shots consistently, all right? I mean, the UNLV game I just talked about was more of a case of the Rebels melting down than the Bulldogs winning. You'll take it. You will take it, but you knew that was not necessarily the case of, the Bulldogs just stealing one. It was Rebels melting down. And so far, this Bulldog basketball team is middle of the pack at best. They are not the San Jose State Air Force bottom dwellers as we saw last year. They are probably going to be a bottom team in the pack, as it stands right now. All right? Probably around with Colorado State and one of the Washington and Oregon State. Probably not going to be up there with Utah, San Diego State, and Gonzaga. We've seen how they've looked so far against those teams. They're going to play Utah State next week on Tuesday night, and that's probably going to be an Aggie easy win. Probably. And then they'll, I believe, play Air Force at home this week on Saturday night or Saturday. I personally will be pay much more attention to the baseball team that starts this weekend against Utah, because the baseball team, in my opinion, has a much better chance of winning something and has won things last 2 years. But yeah, this year, this upcoming week, they should be 1-1 like they have been. So they're around a 500 team. That's better than what they were last year. You know, if they just go 500 next year, next week they'll go 12-13, double win total from last year. So yes, you can say they are getting better. Don't know if that's good enough for Classy to want to keep him, but that's up to the president. That's up to and this day and age of basketball, you need to bring a lot of money. And I talked about this before. Vance has poured in $1 million of his own money. He's got a brother in the financial industry. He can potentially bring this program lots of money that a new hire might not be able to at the start. So is what it is right now. Basketball team's around 500, better than it was last year, but that's really nothing to celebrate about. I'm not going to toot my own horn about a basketball team that's around 500. All right, now to Paul George. Paul George is suspended for 25 games without pay till March 25th against the Bulls. It's going to cost him $11 out of his $51 million salary. The number one thing we take away with this is that he's not going to live it on government cheese. He's going to be fine. He's not going to end up in the poorhouse. He's made millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. He's going to be financially fine. This is not going to ruin him. And with the East as jungled as it is, this might be a good thing for the 76ers long term if Paul George gets that practically 2 months time to rest his legs up. I mean, just how long the basketball season is right now. It's unreasonably long. But this is a chance for Paul George to rest up and get the 76ers a chance to make a real run at a title. You do it. I mean, right now, the standing, I believe they're not in the wild card game. I could be wrong. Let me check on this real quick. Yeah, they're right out of the right number, the 6. So they're right out of the playing round. And, you know, I believe last year, I don't think the Pacers were the Pacers were the 4th seed last year. That's right. So they were not the number 1 seed. So you don't have to. That East is pretty much jumbling together outside of Detroit, who's straight out winners, but they're certainly beatable if you've got a healthy Paul George in there. And they wouldn't face him in the first round anyway. They'd face New York Knicks, and they can beat them. So, you know, rest up, Paul. Now, what this medicine was, this is a medicine he has for anxiety. He owned up he took the wrong one, that he made a mistake, took without seeking treatment. You know, this is an anxiety issue that he has been dealt with. He's been very public about his anxiety issues for a very long time. He had anxiety about being away from his family, being away from his, and so forth. A lot of us have it. He's just, he wasn't trying to cheat. He wasn't trying to cheat. He was not one of those guys who was taking something to bulk up or heal up faster. He was not doing any of that. He just took medicine for anxiety, which is something that I think a lot of us could find very relatable. He apologized for it. Now he's going to get a 2-month rest. We're in February now. He should be fresh and ready to go for the playoff run. And if you're a 76er fan, now you don't have to worry about trying to rest him. You don't have to load manage him. He's going to just do what he's going to do. All right? So that's all that really is about this week for basketball. I've heard that hopefully we'll see some Pac-12 news coming up. Baseball starts this upcoming week. And softball, I just want to give you an update on softball. They went 3-1 in their tournament hosting Idaho State and SIUE. Never heard of that school. I think they're like in Silver, Illinois, something like that. Shouldn't have lost that last game. They blew it, but it's a really new team with a whole new coaching staff. We'll see how they look out. They're going to host Washington, Big Ten team this weekend as well. So if you're a bat and ball sport fan, big time of year for you. They're just getting started. Hopefully basketball gives us something more than what they have already. Football's coming up. Spring camp's going to start very soon. I'll make some videos about that when more news comes out. Hopefully when the spring showcase is on, I'll be able to make it and give you guys stuff from there. But for now, go Dogs.